And with me is my buddy Phil, also known as Grushk,
Brute.
Der Brute. And we have a very exciting match to cast for you tonight with enormous playoff implications. Um, Here's the thing. There is the number 1 seed versus the number 3. If Stars were to lose this match somehow, they would be dethroned for the first time in 2 years of play. The other is that Card Sharks really desperately need to win this battle, so I think they're going to try really hard to win it. For one, they don't have an enormous lead on Galaglass, and Galaglass has proven in the beginning of the second half of the season to be incredibly vicious with Ferg and Terces.
I would say I definitely think this has huge implications for Stars, but I think you might be overstating the importance to Card Sharks a little bit. Yes, Galaglass has done very well and does have a scary team, but they've been having trouble putting a team together lately. And that, as we move on through the rest of the season, could kind of...
Well, you will notice that Ferg is on tonight. I think that we haven't seen Galaglass's potential yet. Terces has proven to be surprisingly resilient. They also save really well with the Shukenja in there. I think that they're a very scary team. Very, very scary if they field their full team. If they have the Hydra attendance issues, they're going to fall to 4th. You have to play. You have to make it to the matches. So KCS may sneak into the 3rd seed playoff spot here just on attendance alone. And I do want to note that all 8 stars are available tonight. They are taking this match very seriously.
Well, while Galaglass is, like you said, doing very well, I think Galaglass is more of a threat to Stars and to Hydra than they are to KCS necessarily. So I think, like, at least in the heads-up matches, I think KCS has the edge there. And then
KCS has won against Galaglass the last couple of matches, but it shouldn't be an easy match. Ferg can go stance defensive and shield up. They have a lot of healing between Terces and Sabian. And Ferg's monopool also is like double the amount of a normal assassin. So that team can turtle, they can go full offensive, and they can heal. I think that GG is a super serious team. But the problem obviously is you can't just wing it through the first half of the season and then expect to make playoffs. Every flag matters, as was proven in the last season. I do agree that GG is a threat to Hydra and Stars as well. I just think they're a threat to everyone. But
well, it's interesting to me because with Sharks being in that 3rd place spot, it's really interesting to me that I feel like Card Sharks are strongest against the bottom half of the bracket.
yes, I agree with that.
And Galaglass, even though they're in that 4th position right now, I think Galaglass is actually stronger against those top 2 teams than Card Sharks is. It's just an interesting position.
That's true, and obviously there's a counter matter, but what's happening is Card Sharks have beaten Galaglass 2 times. As long as they continue to rotate and beat the bottom teams, they're going to just sail into that 3rd playoff spot. I want to talk a little bit about the current teams very quickly. This is the first time Slann has been in against Stars. Stars have beaten KCS 6-0 thus far in the season, but Slann's presence here is hugely important. For one, he provides a lot of flashing to block an emphasis on Grendel. The second is Merilith is here as well. Card Sharks do have their A team. This is the best they have. You can make the argument that the Shukenja helps them to save and also has Holy Smite plus Spirit.
Choking Bodrum is going to help as well.
Yeah, it certainly will. So here's what they're going to look to do, I think, is they don't want to target the mages because they have about 10,000 worth of health between Regenerate and Bodrum's Monopool. So they are going to go ahead and target Szy'gash, which is their usual thing. It is targeting the Clerical. If they get that Clerical out, then Stars have a problem. Grendel does take a Dispel. Does he get out? Kimpaz takes a Dispel as well.
Whoa, there's some damage.
Yeah.
The
Kimpaz is also being hit. Both of them are being targeted at the same time. Grendel dipped into red right away there. He does get Eradicate after the Sanctuary. He's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, just the cones and the acid blast combined.
Yeah, like, he did take a little too long to get out of that. I assume he was in skill lag of some sort, which is the worst possible scenario for a troll if you're dispelled right off skill lag.
Sometimes I know you can also get into a position where you feel like you can take it, and then you start seeing blink. So you do a skill thinking you have a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then you start seeing blinkies hit you, and you're like, "Oh God, this is a bad idea.
Yeah,
Why did I do
that's
this?"
what, like 300 health in a single breath. But they do have potions of ease to take care of that Spirit of Retribution, which is going to do a lot more damage. Bodrum does get choked there. No Draco. If Slann can emphasize this and keep Bodrum down, that's nice.
And
Slann does have Perforate, noticeably. Kimpaz gets hit with Holy Smite, so Cone mitigation.
Yeah, and Bodrum is back up, however. Um, but we've seen time and time again that teams do the best against stars when you can keep Bodrum on the floor.
Indeed.
And so that's going to be important to see if Slann can continue to put him down and keep him down, because these chokes that have happened have not been effective in actually keeping Bodrum down. He's back up immediately.
Yes. And they are just all spamming Cure on this curse. I don't... It might be more important at that point to get Bodrum choked rather than just worry about the curse right away.
Yeah.
Because while you're quaffing those, he's just acid blasting you for deep red.
Yeah, I mean, once you kill Szy'gash, maybe see about curing the curses.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing just lands instantly. It's like
it takes longer to cure it.
Like there's just no point in bothering.
Mm-hmm. And one thing that's really good about targeting Szy'gash and Azure is that they can't heal as efficiently. Szy'gash does get raked there, which is going to stop. They are targeting Azure currently. They're doing a lot of damage. Grendel is in power swing range, which is not the worst thing. He doesn't even care about healing right away. I'm also leading the biggest group in the league right now for some reason. Everybody's following me. But Grendel is probably staying intentionally red. Stars are being hurt, and I would say if you don't target the mages, if you don't target Kimpaz and Bodrum, they can't regenerate, and KCS might have a slight healing advantage because they do have the Scald and Assassin healing and also the Druid as well.
And the important thing about the power swing is it's less about the damage from power swing and everything. It's honestly more just about the reliability of the stun. That's the reason you power swing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, power swing is so good. It's a lot better than bash for sure.
I mean, I think Troll Bash is pretty good just because of the combination of the dex and strength, but...
Yes, Slann does take a dispel. He flashes right off that. He's going to take some damage here. He is in skill lag. That is not as big a round as it could have been.
Yeah,
he got out of there fairly quickly.
I think that was a pretty even trade between Slann and Azure, both of them taking a lot of damage in those couple rounds.
Grendel is still in red. Mara and Tyrcell are both fine. Slann and Grendel are being targeted down, but Kimpaz is red as well. This has been a slugfest, and nobody has an easy, clear advantage at present.
Yeah.
So you have two of each team in white, and then you have two on each team that are hurt. Kimpaz and Azure are both hurt, and they're
really mad at this golem.
Yeah, evidently. I was listening to your cast earlier, and you were like, somebody was on Rinthos' golem, and you said, "I'm really giving it to this invoker, man." I don't remember who it was, but it was hilarious because the guy was just like staying on the golem, like roundhousing or whatever it is.
Okay, here we go. Bodrum is healing Kimpaz up.
And this is the reason I don't like targeting the invoker in this instance, is Bodrum can just heal him forever, even without ER.
And at range, even.
Yeah. Everybody is healing up a bit. Grendel's red is misleading, possibly. They may be keeping him in red intentionally. I'm not quite sure. Slann is in white, and he was hurt earlier, I believe. So they are dumping mana into Slann.
Does get choked, but he is light sleeper, I believe.
Yeah. Still 20 seconds on that. Grendel does take a blind, but Mara is still up. He should be able to cure that immediately.
And honestly, without fasting, it's not that big a deal.
I've never understood blinding Grendel with a clerical still in the match. I don't understand that. Seems like a waste of a spell.
I mean, sometimes it's just a cheap way to get him off of you.
Yeah.
You know, if you just dispel him, then he can just quaff a nectar and be back and just not even leave you. But if you blind him, then that kind of forces him off a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't want to cleanse while he's on you.
Bodrum does get choked. Grendel's blind is cured. At this point, I would say monopools are being depleted. Slann is taking a maim from Azure, which may just be protection / hitting. And of course the cold down, which probably broke through dragon saves.
Yeah, Azure's taking a good bit of damage.
He is.
From everybody.
He is. Slann is being targeted down quite a lot. Mutilates, again, Nownage, and then Bodrum, of course. I don't think Bodrum has been choked as much as he needs to be.
Well, he's been choked, but then he's like in the same room as the fighting is happening.
And
so
then he
gets woken up
initiates.
by the he gets woken up by the flashes and all that.
Kimpaz takes a huge round.
And could go down.
Azure is unsanctuaried.
And that's
he does not get out of there, he's gonna die. He does go for the sanctuary, but they're still engaged. Okay, so those few rounds were actually enormous. Kimpaz does go down.
all right.
Now that's going to mean two things. It's going to mean
Azure's
one,
going down soon too.
yes, but I don't know. I mean, they need to start running the flag right away. Kimpaz wants to die at that point. He probably had no mana. So it's good for both teams, but only good for KCS if they start running immediately. And they also listen. What is it?
Szy'gash is going for the flag, but I think Bodrum is going to block him.
He's in his side.
Merilith.
They were going to interrupt it. Szy'gash went east to try to interrupt, but it didn't work. So now what they need to do is run the flag. They need to choke Bodrum out, and they also need to. He does.
Well, there's the Draco.
That is going to be problematic.
Well, Grendel can still bash him while he's mounted. You can power swing him. You can shield strike him.
The only thing Bodrum really wants to do, he doesn't care about. He wants to interrupt. It's not a matter of winning right now. He just wants to interrupt, which he's so good at doing.
So yeah, he's just gonna bounce in, do some damage with chains, and then.
Slann does take a big round from Azure there. Azure does get roundhoused off that, but flees immediately. So what Stars are looking to do is interrupt until Kimpaz can get out there with his full pool.
I think, I mean, Sharks are. There goes Azure. Sharks are going to get at least one capture off of this.
Neither
probably not
Szy'gash
two.
or Bodrum can. Grendel does take a blind there. Neither of them can blind other than the spell, obviously, but Merilith can get rescued across here. It's just a matter of taking all that damage as well.
Yeah. That's the problem. I mean, yeah, you can rescue her across, and I mean, they should, but at the same time, like you said, that you're basically giving free damage.
Yes. I find it interesting that Bodrum has not gotten onto Merilith yet. He's looking for him, possibly, but he hasn't gotten on him.
I don't think he wants to. I think he knows he can't kill Merilith, so he's just trying to do as much damage to whoever he can find to chain.
Grendel is trying his best to just stun the hell out of Bodrum so that he can't do those chains. He does get cured there. Tyrcell is still in Watts. I mean, they can still run some flags across here. I have the feeling that this is going to be a 3-2, whatever the win is.
Yeah, and there's the first capture. Now Bodrum's going to try and interrupt the second capture and just prevent them from picking up the flag.
Yeah, he is. He's in blue currently. He's waiting. Szy'gash does get choked. But you don't want to keep him alive too long. You want to stagger. But Merilith does get the flag up there, which is probably a mistake. Not for KCS, but for Stars. That should have been interrupted.
Yeah, Bodrum was on the goal line, I believe. So he was right there.
Yeah, he could have interrupted.
But it's hard, you know, if you take a second to, like, do a scan and kind of judge whether or not it's safe to go in, that can be all the time they need to pick up the flag.
Yeah. Bodrum taking a lot of melee from this power swing. Grendel's doing a good job controlling that. Szy'gash is in KCS flag room. They need to interrupt right now. Szy'gash is going to try to cap.
That'll be good. It'll split attentions up and give Bodrum more opportunity to
Szy'gash
Yep,
does
there
pick
we
up the
go.
flag. Um,
Bodrum
but that's
self-chaining
not
to
that's
yourself.
not an enormously bad thing. If they get on Szy'gash and hurt him, for one, that's a staggered kill. Szy'gash at this point dying would be a good thing. Secondly, Bodrum can't just free chain Szy'gash.
Yeah. Well, what it does is it forces KCS to split their attention between Merilith and Szy'gash, and that either they kind of sit tight and wait for Kimpaz to come out,
Well, he's
which
out.
he's out now,
Yeah, and that's gonna whop.
or
I
even
see what
still,
Stars is doing. Unless Szy'gash dies here, that's really bad for KCS because
yeah,
Stars is going to try to do a straight 3-cap right now and then just whop the team. If Kimpaz gets over to the blue flag room and KCS dies, they can just straight cap it.
yeah, and even without Kimpaz's,
He does get Holy Smitten, if that's the
yeah.
correct usage of the word. But he gets Smite on him, and he's going to be a wallflower for a few rounds.
In that position though, with Szy'gash picking up the flag, what it does is it forces them to split attentions, which means it's no longer a 4v1 on top of Bodrum, which means he can get in a position where it's either 2v1 or even 3v1 on Bodrum, and
Yes.
those are both like much better for him.
Yeah,
and allow him to do a lot more damage.
They do need to get Szy'gash down though.
And Szy'gash is getting rescued and moving off of these rescues.
Yes, and this could not. Let's see, where is Szy'gash on the map right now? He is 20-yard marker blue. He's close to his flag room, and if he gets all the way into his flag room and then KCS gets whopped, that's game. He is in red though. Tyrcell is doing some work on him, and if he dies, that whole 3-cap plan, they get another chance.
Mm-hmm. We do have another rescue on Szy'gash.
And here's the thing about the double mage composition: they can't heal Szy'gash up. Szy'gash does get a demolish power swing. If they can kill Szy'gash, then Stars are still in trouble.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Charmius here getting rescues off onto Szy'gash.
Yeah, which Slann is trying to flash and defuse that whole situation. 2 disarms go out, which is kind of strange at this point in the game.
Well,
they're trying to kill Merilith and they're trying to kill Szy'gash.
And Azure has no weapons anymore, so that's going to keep Merilith alive. I mean, it means Azure takes more damage, and it means he deals less to the carrier. So
yes, and the thing is, both teams have to be hurt right now. Szy'gash probably has a little more mana, or did, than KCS because they've been out so long.
Can't tell if that. I think that was a cleanse on Grendel, not a dispel. There we go. Yeah, he's cleansing off a blind.
Tyrcell is doing a really nice job running interference and just kind of hurting everyone. But again, if Bodrum still has mana and Kimpaz still has, yeah, he does. These chains are going to hurt. They are stunning him very well. They're doing their best.
These power swings are going to hurt as well.
I understand
especially
what they're
the
doing
sharp flags right there.
They don't want the mages to get on Kimpaz. They feel like they would lose that battle as far as damage output, so they're just staying with Merilith and trying their best to protect him with stuns. So this is a bit of a Mexican standoff at the moment. The only thing is if Stars pulls this out, Szy'gash is just waiting in his flag room, which is pretty much a guaranteed cap. It's an immediate cap when Merilith dies, and then when KCS whops, they can just stack and run a 3-0. So the worst case scenario is they lose this fight, and they know they can't afford to.
Now this is interesting. Kimpaz is actually spending mana healing Bodrum instead of the other way around.
That does seem strange. I guess Bodrum is fairly low at this point.
Yeah, but
I mean, he did take a smite earlier,
so
but it's got to be off or close.
They're obviously just charging him up in order for him to go in and chain, which now he's doing.
But if they can get stuns off, Merilith is trying to get out. Merilith must be low. Slann does die there.
And if, like you said, if the rest of them die off of this, there's a dispel onto Tyrcell.
Yep. Bodrum is wimping. He can't have that much health left. but neither does KCS. Everybody is very hurt over there.
Yeah, and Bodrum is wimping again.
Bodrum knows that all they know that all they need to do is kill Merilith, and it's going to happen, I think. Yep.
There it is. And there it is. Okay, so
That
yeah, this
is
is just
game.
like...
That's game. See,
Yeah, there's...
you know
there's,
what, Szy'gash?
And there's a blind on Tyrcell.
KCS
So,
made an enormous mistake. They made a huge mistake because Szy'gash took his time capping that flag. He summoned the elemental. He waited forever before he captured it. They had plenty of time to see and interrupt it, and if they died while stars were at 0, then they would have come back and been able to 3-2 this.
but that's going to be 3-1 for stars. I mean, Tyrcell is choked. He's getting maledicted at this point.
Yeah.
He's already blind. Now he's weakened. Which honestly doesn't even do that much to most people these days.
Oh, the one thing that Tyrcell does somehow get on Szy'gash. I guess Szy'gash did that intentionally. That doesn't make sense if he has the flag.
They're just going to kill him.
No,
I mean,
but this is a little bit of a mistake. For one, they didn't stack captures. For one, Szy'gash went to capture the flag again. I guess because everybody was so low, but they had plenty of time. Nobody was going to interfere with them. So stars did not stack caps. They did not. And then Szy'gash was on Tyrcell for a second, which fine, that's a staggered kill, but why are you having the flag capper or delay himself?
Well, yeah, I mean, both of those moves are a little sloppy, but at the same time, it's not going to change anything, I don't believe. I think they still have plenty of time to get these two captures across.
Maybe, yeah, at worst, like Mira would come out or something, unless they did die on the same tick. It was very close, but I didn't see it. Slann died pretty close to Merilith. If he could get out there and do something.
He did die first, but then he's got to deal with the Jur waiting for him. I mean...
Yes.
So, like, yeah, maybe if Azure fails the choke, he gets a counter choke onto him, and then he can kind of delay things.
Are they really not stacking again?
Nope.
Oh, Kimpaz stack. Okay. So this should be a run-in. There are 30 seconds left. Kimpaz does go undetect.
Well, no, he goes... Wait, what?
Yeah, he has the flag, but...
That's not supposed to be possible. How is that happening?
I don't know. I've never seen that happen. Zudum always was visible, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be coded out. You're not supposed to be like all when you're carrying the flag, no form of non-detect is supposed to work on you.
Huh. That's a little sketch.
So yeah, he's non-detect and shouldn't be.
Slann is out. But he can't do. He doesn't. I guess he can track the golem, but this is still. Slann does take the blonde, and that is possibly going to be game.
Yeah, I mean that should not be happening right now.
Well, we are in for a little bit of controversy here.
It wouldn't be DSL without it.
See, well, stars do take it right across.
And there's a win off of, I mean...
Well,
oh, it's frustrating
Slann did take the blind very quickly, but that non-detect is going to put this into gray area.
Yeah.
Gadden is putting up the bat signal to hold for a minute.
Yep.
See, Slann is not. Slann is upset at the moment because he feels like he could have done something.
Yeah. So let me see. Where was Slann?
This is the issue with clarity of rules, because there are a lot of would'ves, could'ves, but there's still the factor of the rule being in place to begin with. So you can argue that it wouldn't have made a difference. Slann got blinded immediately, but it's also a gray matter of, but I didn't see Kimpaz to begin with, so maybe I would have seen him, gotten on him for a minute, delayed the team. Well, there's not much for us to say about this. I mean, as two owners, we can voice our opinion, but we will wait for interference here. If there's the clarification of that in the on the page, then that makes it an easy decision. But if not, it should have still been coded out. So this is up for the IMS, I suppose.
See, on the one hand, it should be coded out. It was coded out, and then. So the weird thing is, like, regardless of how the ruling is done, I do kind of think it's odd to say we didn't know that would happen.
Right.
When you're obviously trying to use a form of non-detect, when you should know that that's not.
Yes, but at the same time, it doesn't matter if they didn't know. It's still an enormous advantage in the ACFL, obviously. Yeah. Well, we will leave it at that. If this gets determined in a timely factor, I will broadcast the next match. If not, I'll bat it over to Lewis or whoever can do it, possibly. But we gave our opinions. This is gray area stuff right here. That's disappointing for KCS. I can say that.
And that's, like I said, win or lose, however it would have fallen. I know as a player, to be in that position, even if it wouldn't have affected the outcome of the match.
Yeah, it's demoralizing to the max.
Yeah. It's painful to have to deal with.
And I do want to say that I'm not trying to blame Stars for this. It's just a matter of, if that bugs out, that's a huge advantage.
I mean, we Brutes dealt with that early in the season to some degree. Our first match against Stars, we had Lewis in a match, actually, trying to use Yank. And apparently there's some weirdness with how arena rooms are coded, because arena rooms are coded as like 9,000 different things, so that in theory all abilities should work that are like terrain specific.
Yes. But I mean, you can argue that this is an even bigger advantage, because I mean, who doesn't want their flag carrier to be invisible?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, But we'll address this later, or let it be addressed rather. And if there's time, I'll broadcast the second match. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll pick up the second match.
All right, talk to you soon, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you.